Far from the clamor of the modern world, nestled in the quiet embrace of the countryside, a new life began. A newborn child named Liam had just arrived, small and fragile, with a calmness that was almost otherworldly. He was a baby who rarely cried, seemingly content in his silent world. But as he slept unaware, fate was already weaving a story for him, assigning him a guardian unlike any other. This guardian wasn't human. It was a magnificent white horse named Snowheart, known throughout the farm for her gentle spirit and profound intelligence. Snowheart had always been different from the other animals. She moved with a grace that seemed to carry an ancient wisdom. She possessed an uncanny ability to sense emotions, to understand the language of silence, and to notice the subtle shifts in the world that most humans overlooked. One bright morning, Liam's mother decided to take him outside for some fresh air. As she cradled the tiny baby in her arms, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face, she noticed a quiet movement. It was Snowheart, approaching with slow, deliberate steps across the field. The mother froze for a moment, a wave of apprehension washing over her. A horse of that size could easily frighten a newborn. But as Snowheart drew closer, something magical unfolded. Instead of fear, the baby stirred with curiosity. His tiny hand, no bigger than a flower petal, reached out into the open air. And in response, Snowheart lowered her massive head, her movements as gentle as a falling leaf. A soft, warm breath from her nostrils touched the baby's delicate fingers. In that instant, Liam smiled a pure, unreserved smile that only true innocence can create. And right there, in that quiet field under the morning sun, their extraordinary bond began. From that day forward, a new routine settled over the farm. Every morning, without fail, Snowheart would be waiting near the house, her patient eyes fixed on the door. And every day, Liam would reach out from his mother's arms as if calling to his silent friend. Seeing the gentle connection between them, the mother began to place Liam's crib outside in the fresh air while she tended to her chores in the garden. Snowheart always stood nearby, a calm and protective sentinel, her presence a silent promise of safety. It was a strange and beautiful sight. Neighbors who passed by would often stop and whisper among themselves. "It's unbelievable," they'd say. "That horse. She acts like a guardian," and she was. She was more than just an animal. She was a watchful protector, mysteriously and deeply connected to the newborn child. Days turned into weeks, and their silent friendship grew stronger, woven into the fabric of their everyday lives. Snowheart's world seemed to revolve around this tiny human, and Liam's world was a little safer, a little more magical, because of her. Then, one night, the peaceful countryside was shattered by a violent storm. The sky tore open with flashes of lightning, and the wind howled like a wounded beast, lashing the world with relentless rain. Inside the house, the family slept, oblivious to the subtle change that was happening in the baby's room. That night, something was terribly wrong. Liam's breaths grew shallow, faster and weaker. His silent struggle went unheard by his sleeping parents, but someone did hear him. Someone felt the shift in the air. Outside in the barn, Snowheart was restless. She began pacing frantically, her powerful hooves stomping the ground, her snorts sharp and urgent in the stormy air. She knew something was wrong. Driven by an instinct she couldn't ignore, she kicked the barn door again and again, her desperation lending her strength until the wood splintered and the lock gave way. Soaking wet and shivering, she galloped through the mud to the main house. She stood at the family's bedroom window, her head raised, neighing desperately into the night, her calls piercing the roar of the storm. Liam's father woke up confused and disoriented. He heard the frantic sounds and stumbled outside, expecting to find an animal in distress. But Snowheart didn't want his help for herself. She nudged him forcefully, pushing him with her head toward the baby's room. A cold dread washed over the father as he finally understood. He rushed inside, his heart pounding in his chest, and then he saw it. Liam's chest was barely rising. His skin was turning a pale, frightening color. They rushed him to the hospital, the world a blur of panic and flashing lights. It was a race against time, a race they won by mere minutes. And those precious, life-saving minutes were a gift from Snowheart. At the hospital, the doctors delivered the news. He arrived just in time, they said, their words hanging in the sterile air. Liam's parents cried with overwhelming relief, their tears a mixture of fear and gratitude. Later, back at the farm, they looked at the magnificent white horse standing silently in the rain, and the full weight of what she had done crashed down on them. She had saved their son. Snowheart didn't ask for a reward or recognition. She simply stood there, watching over the house, her heart connected to the baby she loved. From that night on, she was no longer just a horse. She was family. Years passed. The memory of that stormy night became a cornerstone of their family story. Liam grew older, stronger, and was full of life and laughter. But he never forgot the white guardian who had saved him, when he was too small to save himself. Every morning, every afternoon, and at every sunset, he would run to the fields to find Snowheart. He would wrap his small arms around her powerful neck, rest his head against her soft coat, and they would stand together in comfortable silence. Their bond was unbreakable, a testament to a love that needed no words. It was a friendship born from innocence, protected by an unwavering loyalty, and a story that would be remembered forever. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider subscribing to our channel for more incredible stories of connection and courage. We'll see you in the next video.